We are racing here for the first European Tour ever, the first race of the PTO Tour. And the gun has gone off. Nice conditions here in the swim, Helen. It is a 2-kilometre race, 2 laps at the Figueiredas beach. Well protected, no surf expected. I think it's about a 21-degree water temperature as well. And they're fast at the start.
There is a gap opening up further back. We have now got a front group moving away, which is what these fast swimmers wanted.
And why is that important as we progress through the race?
Well, the fast swimmers, they know Kristian Blummenfelt is the fastest runner, and the aim is to get as much time as possible on him.
Yeah, that looked like Aaron Royal to me. He was out in front with Frodeno in second.
Yeah, and there's key there. We saw Kristian Blummenfelt is 28 seconds back, so he's lost 28 seconds in the first lap. He's really going to want to minimise that. They're
coming out the water very, very shortly, and we will see them dash into T1.
Sometimes there's a bit of difference in the speed, but the athletes might want to put on extra things. Sometimes they'll put on something in transition now, but everyone has to get that wetsuit off, goggles, hat. They have to go into the box next to the bike. If that equipment does not go into the box, they could be hit with a penalty.
So we see Aaron Royal there in picture now.
Yeah, the 2-time Olympian. We'd expect him to be fast through transition. There we go, there's Max Newman as well. Frodeno's already heading out. That's going to have to be a fast transition there for Newman to get onto the back of this group. Alistair Brownlee heading out. Yeah, you can hear the cheers. We've got Kyle Smith heading out there as well.
But he's right where he wants to be. But we look at the very unique bike of Kristian Blummenfelt.
He's currently 1:14 back after the last timing, Matt, so he has lost a further few seconds since that transition.
And that is Kyle Smith assuming the lead, getting some work in at the front.
And I think Ditlev is now approaching the back of that group. Just in the back, I think we can see that white suit coming up.
I think you're right. Well, he's certainly moving the fastest, as we see there with the race pace. And he's moving faster than Blummenfelt. He won't want to go toe-to-toe with Blummenfelt on the run. Magnus Ditlev, 15 victims already. He's 15 overtakes. That's fantastic work. And look, T2 now for the men. This is going to be very interesting indeed. We're talking transition. Who gets it down the smoothest? And again, we have to consider, you know, keeping a tidy transition here. Everything goes in the box.
40 seconds ahead of the chase group. There's Ditlev there just putting his bike in. Kyle Smith heading out.
First out, Kyle Smith.
Good transition, see that short course practice. Ditlev just struggling a little bit with that shoe. Gone with no socks, interestingly. Some of them have socks on, some don't. Max Newman as well, just a little bit slower. Kyle Smith really got a good few seconds advantage there. Very fast through transition.
It's Kristian Blummenfelt coming into transition.
He's got a bit of work to do on the run. He's going to know he's got to pull back that gap. They've got 40 seconds up the road. Yeah, Smith here, he's managed to get back up to Alistair Brownlee. Interesting to see whether he's going to sit on his shoulder or try and make the pass, but he has just gained that couple of meters and moved up. Alistair Brownlee doing exactly what he did in the Canadian Open, though, leading from the front. So we've got Matthias Peterson in the middle of them. He is one of the athletes that is a lap behind. So we're looking at the red suit behind there of Max Newman.
He's trying to clock up the points so that he can get to Paris, whereas Blummenfelt already had those points in the bag. So he turns his attention to 100 kilometres today and beating the other 2 Olympic champions on the course. I'm sure that'll be a really big feather in his cap. He is one that is obviously motivated by lots of different challenges, and when you've achieved so much, you know, it's nice to identify these separate challenges, right, Helen? So just give you, you know, get that adrenaline going a little bit harder. The legend has company at the front, and it'll be interesting to see how this affects his race now. Was he expecting to see Max Newman on his shoulder? Does it matter?
Yeah, it's hard to know, isn't it? I think I say Max Newman wasn't like one of the big names coming in, but he's had that really strong, consistent results, and probably not one of the big names, maybe because he just doesn't put himself out there as much as some of the others. He's not big on social media, he's not got his own YouTube channel, so there isn't just as much information about him. But he's come here, he's really prepared, and there we see there his stats: 5th in the swim, 16th bike, 3rd on the run. Brownlee, it's hard to know whether Brownlee's slowed or he's Max Newman's really just picked up the pace. It looks like Brownlee may have slowed down a little bit there. You see he's holding in his hands. He's got that nutrition we think he might have missed on the first lap.
The level of sports science that these athletes have behind them. Kristian Blummenfelt is not the only one. Most of these folk have a doctor, someone who's got a master's in sports science, something like that. They're like engineers, biomechanical engineers. It's fascinating when you dive into it. So much goes into this running form right here and being able to put down these sorts of performances, and to think that they're eking out even more performance, it just blows your mind.
And just looking at the time checks there, Jan Frodeno's moved into 4th position. Brownlee's just slipped back one more position.
Yeah, looks like Alistair has kind of cooked it quite a bit. There's a grimace now across the face of Max Newman as well.
I think he's putting in time. Maybe he's maybe he's dropped to Kristian Blummenfelt a little bit.
Well, this is exciting.
I think it got down to 19, but now it's gone back to 20. I mean, it's only a second difference, but it shows how strong. It shows how strong Max Newman is running out front.
And there's Kristian Blummenfelt. Right now, it is between those two. Ditlev, 1 minute and 34 back. Max Newman looking fantastic as he twists and turns. He's coming down the chute. He sees the finish line. He checks his shoulder as well. It's an outstanding run for Max Newman. Ibiza rocks for Max Newman. A wonderful day out. Do we have a new superstar in middle course racing? Kristian Blummenfelt turns the corner. He'll see the chute now. Well, he's beaten Jan Frodeno. He's beaten Alistair Brownlee. It's a fantastic race from him. Didn't quite have enough turf to make up the time on Max Newman, but he goes over to congratulate him. A fantastic performance by the Aussie.
Yeah.
And of course, Blummenfelt was going to be there.
Unbelievable.
Something special. And there is our remaining podium placer, Magnus Ditlev. The Great Dane is bringing that through.
Yeah, such a strong performance for him. I think a really good swim. He just made the moves on the bike. He really, he caused that group to all come together, and just didn't quite have the legs there to save them on the run, but still an incredibly solid performance.
Fantastic race for Magnus Ditlev. Frodeno and Jason West. It's Frodeno over the line first. Great to have him back racing. 4th position for him after 616 days away. It's been a privilege.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, run and hide. Some champagne coming our way. Congratulations to all the winners of the 2023 PTO European Open. What a fantastic race. Magnus Ditlev in 3rd, Kristian Blummenfelt in 2nd, and our champion, Max Newman, Australia.